everyone. Today we're going to do a drawing of Rowan and Rin. It's just a sketch, and these are the things we're going to need. We're going to need one, an image, or you guys are just going to follow me. I'm working from the image. Sharpener. I've got 2 pencils here. They're 2Bs. I prefer them, but if you're working from home and you've only got an HB, that's fine. The higher the number next to the B, the more shading we can get in. So 6Bs, 8Bs, they can be fantastic. And you can buy them just at newsagents if you want to try again later. Some cotton buds, they're great for blending, but we can also use our fingers. And a rubber. And thanks, let's just get going. Okay, so to start with, we're going to use positional circles and marks. So I start with my first circle at the top. And at the bottom. I don't really want all those lines I started with, so sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to rub them out. So I just want a really light circle. Like I said, they're only our positional marks. We're going to rub them out later. Then I'm going to do a slightly smaller circle in the middle. Just like that. We're going to put our symmetry line. Now, our symmetry line is slightly curvy because Rowan in this picture, his head is on the 3/4 aspect. So we have a line down the middle, and I'm going to do the line that goes across where the 2 circles intersect, just like that. On this line I'm going to draw an ear, so the ear is going to come down and be in line with this mark here. I'm going to draw the other side. It's going to go there. We are going to see where this intersects, and I'm going to draw a line across here. This will be for our nose later. A line between here and here is the next thing I'm going to draw, and that will be for his lips and mouth. And over here, underneath, we'll create his eyes. Now you can already start to see a human face forming there, but these are only positional marks, like I said. We're going to come down here and create a neck. He's slightly on the side, and we'll do a rough shoulder mark. And that's the first part of our drawing. They're just the positional lines. So here, down here, I'm going to start to create the face. And you can notice that these lines are much darker. And I come in to create the temple and out for the cheek. I'm going to come up here and over on this side. I'm going to draw that. We're going to put his bathing cap on. Remember when we do drawings before, I always talk about when we look at each other, we see a third of our face or a head at the top here is our hair. So we're going to put that bathing cap on. And we're going to start creating where his eyebrows would be. Now his eyebrow over here, one. And this one we won't let it arch too much. And we'll start to bring the line down to where his nose is going to go. I'm going to use my eraser here to rub out some of these lines I no longer want. So I don't want the top of that circle. I don't need the bottom of this first circle either, so I'll take that away. And that'll help you not to be too confused. I'll let you see that face a little bit better. I'm going to start with the arch of his eye. That comes on the top, and this one hides and goes into his face. We're going to draw that ear a little bit better too. We're going to bring that in, and we're going to do this. And this ear we can't see quite as much of, and they kind of stop. If I do this, you can see it stopping under where his nose is going to go. The same with his mouth. The mouth is at the end of where the pupils are going to go. They're little round circles. The top one touches this eye, other one this side. So it's important we make the eyes the same size, round, and like I said, in line. The middle of the eye is going to be in line with that mouth. And I'm going to put the colour part's the iris, remember? The little circle in the middle is the pupil, and the pupil is always black, so it's quite safe for us to colour that in now and know that we're doing the right thing, being confident with our drawing. Now remember, it's okay if you make mistakes in drawing. Part of learning to be an artist. So I put those 2 little circles in, they're going to be our highlights. And I'm going to shade this in really, really softly. At the moment you can see my hands at the top of my pencil. And just little lines that radiate out. And I'm going to use our cotton bud just to blend them a little bit, being careful not to get any grey pencil in that circle. And then we're actually going to colour the side circle in. And whenever I draw eyes, I like to make the top of the eye a little bit darker than the bottom of the eye. It's just the shadow where the lid's touching it.
we're going to do a little tear duct in there. Now remember, the width of our eyes should be another eye in between, so we need to create that. I'm just going to bend that around a little bit more and take that line out. So if you haven't got yours curved enough. And I'm going to give him some lashes on the top. And we're going to make that bottom line curvier as well. So it's just not the straight line we started with. Now today, to do the shading, we're going to attempt to use some tonal shading tricks of artists. We're going to do some hatching, cross hatching, some blending. All these techniques have been created to help artists create 3D sketches, or hopefully that's what we're aiming for, something not too fat. So I'm going to start with the hair. Whenever I draw hair, I draw it the way it grows. Now there's my bathing cap, but you notice I want the hair to curve down and around. Start building that up just a little. Up and around it comes out just a bit of his hair here. And there's just a little bit tucking out the back here. And he's got a little bit of a sideburn thing happening around his ears. I'm going to draw his... Now, when I draw eyebrows, I draw them just as they are little hairs that grow in opposite directions. So we're going to draw that in, making sure that I've shaded that, using my finger, or if you prefer, you can use that little cotton bud. The sweat of my hand makes it lovely and shady. Tear duct again. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, of course, we're looking at that face 3/4. The eyebrow follows that around a little bit more. And there we go. There's a little bit of shading on this cheek here. Now, this is what we call hatching. We make our lines lovely and curved and soft. I'm just going to use my cotton bud for that. Let's get some nice grey on it. Blending it around. And we're going to do the same here. His face is in shadow here. So the hatching is single. It can be crossed. And that's called cross hatching. And it gives us the depth of shade that we need. Now his nose. We all know this is the way that artists make the nose look as if it's coming out and off the page. And we're slowly going to build up where his nostril should be. So I'm going to have a look down here and slowly build this up a little bit better than that. We can just see that other nostril coming in there. His nose has a little wobble on it like that. So just going to soften that line as well. Get that coming down. Maybe that's not quite right. See, even I'm making mistakes and it's okay. Like I said, that's part of the doing of sketching. Our first lines may not always be correct. It's okay to rub them out and start again, have another go at them. You can see too, I can use my rubber here to lighten and whiten the section. I'm going to add this second nostril over here and just shade that in a little bit. His nose is quite dark in this section here. Sorry if I was fading away there, I was just concentrating. And we're going to put the lip here and up here. We're going to make that little love heart. I talk about that shape. We're going to bring that line in here. And I'm going to start with the bottom lip. Now as artists, we always shade that area under the bottom lip. Put my cotton pad again so you can see that properly while I do that. Nice soft curves, curvy lines. I'm just going to join that up. Bottom, making sure we're in line with our eyes again. Perfect, look at that. I'm going to shade his lip in a little bit. This time I use little straight lines like that. Find that a bit better. And we'll come over here and we'll do some shading for his ear. And under his neck where this face is casting a shadow. Bring that in there. He's wearing a collar, so I'll show you how we're going to do the collar. We're going to create the collar. It comes up and around. To make it look more like fabric, we're going to do this lovely bendy line. We're going to move around, up, again, back to that lip again. I like to move all over my picture Gives me a chance to reflect on what I've just done, whether it works or doesn't work. But I should stick with it or change it. So it's the second collar. And it's also going to be in line with that, moving up, because it's on an angle. And we're going to just draw the little shoulder there. We're not going to get too fast because the actual drawing is holding a map of, but we're just going to concentrate on his face today. Alright, so let's get back to this hair. So, drawing lots of dark shadow lines that bend down. I'm not scribbling, which sometimes that's what kids think I'm doing. I'm deliberately putting the lines down to look as if the hair is falling down with gravity. And that's what it does. He's got a sort of a mousy brown blonde hair. So we don't want it too dark either, otherwise he'll look like he's got really jet dark hair. Some more lashes perhaps down on his eyes a little bit in here. And across here, we'll put a couple of little ones here. And we'll bring that up. So he's got, the hair sweeps up off the scalp. And then it curls up and comes down. It takes a bit of a while to get the hair just as you would like it. There's a little bit of light colour hair at the top here to show us he is fair. And the artist shows us that by not shading that quite so dark. A little bit of a curly bit here, just on his face. And of course we need to make his sideburns nice and dark so it's sitting out from his head. And we can put a little bit of shading in his shirt. It looks more like fabric, dark under where his collar would be. Getting a lovely dirty finger by now. He's also wearing a t-shirt underneath it. I've always wondered why the artist drew him with a t-shirt originally. Because I don't think they would have had them back in the olden days. Put some bit more shading in. So let's, normally we're dark under our eyes. We'll put a little bit of shading in here. Keeping that tonal bit nice and round. We don't want his face to look flat. A bit darker under here, and of course darker inside his nose. Then we'll put a little bit of it up here. Don't look like a moustache though, so if it comes out a little bit too dark, remember you can always just bring it back again with the rubber. A little bit of a chin there, let's make sure his chin's, and he's got, I'm going to take that, that's left over from our additional marks at the beginning. You can see it's really important for me to keep those hatching lines and shading lines round. If we don't keep them round, he won't look as if he's made of muscle and skeleton and all the things we do want him to look like. Just remember that. We're nearly finished now. Push in some of that. And in the background, well, the actual cover has a dragon and a mountain, but we'll just put some mountains, so the dragon's another lesson later. Do that very lightly. Hopefully you can see them okay. Maybe even some clouds in the background. But whenever we draw a cloud, we have to keep the bottoms nice and flat. Okay, you can keep working on it if you like. I just keep working on his fabric, shadowing on his clothes. If you get that done, I can't wait to see your drawings. sure they're looking fantastic. And the best thing about drawing at home is nobody else can see that what you're doing except you. So practice makes perfect. And remember, don't give up. Keep trying. There you go. Oh, one more thing as an artist. Remember, let's sign our work. Nice and small, you don't want it to be too big. And the ear. Here we go.